Now we are online. So this is Patikula Manasikara Pabbam. So Sanskrit will be Pratikula. Pratikula means disgusting. Okay, so Patikula is same thing. So this is also called as Kayagata Sati. Okay. Now what we are supposed to do is you can use it as a meditation object. So you have to close your eyes and start observing your body. Or you can keep your eyes open also, it is fine. But if you do closed eyes, you will enjoy the most. Okay, just relax, close your eyes, and if you want, you can switch off your camera also and sit. So Atti Imasmim Kaye, there in this body. Okay, now you have to create a body structure. Okay, so when we create a body structure, what will happen? So you have body hair, the kesa, the hairs of the head, loma, hairs on the body, nakha is the nail, danta is the teeth, tacho is the skin. Now when you look at kesa, loma, nakha, danta and tacho, you will find three of them are soft clay kind and two of them like rock, because nakha is very hard, danta is hard. So you can see that this consciousness is holding something dirt here, because this will fall down. Kesa keeps on falling down every day. When you comb, a lot of hairs will come out and it turns gray also. Loma, same thing, the body hairs will fall and it might not look nice when it falls. Nakha, you have to keep on cutting the nails. Danta, you have to keep on brushing the teeth. Tacho, skin. It looks nice, but if you closely observe, it has so much of cracks. Okay. Sorry. And if you observe, skin can get very hard and rough also. So this is Ashubha and it has a disgusting nature. If you just hold your now that we are wearing mask, you would have observed that when we wear mask and start speaking, the smell what we get from our mouth is unbearable. Same thing with hairs. If you don't shampoo the hair, it is very dirty. Same thing with body hair. If we don't take bath and we are sweating, and all the hairs, whether it's a female or male, will be smelling. Nakha also same, danta, we know we have to brush the teeth, and skin. Now comes to the second lot, mamsam. This is from two words, ma plus amsa. Ma means to cut. Amsa is Sanskrit word, will be amsha. What is amsa? Amsa means essence. So in fruit and in vegetable, we are eating the Namo Buddhaya Kalpana ji. Today we have started on this particular Manasikara Pabbam or Kayagata Sati, so we'll continue on that. So when we watch the mamsa, ma plus amsa, amsa is essence. Basically in all vegetables, and if a person is eating non-vegetarian also, he will eat the essence of everything. So as much as the essence is removed, as much as the essence is removed, so much we can see that whether the person is eating vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food, even if the person is eating fruit, since he's removing the essence, the body turns itself into flesh, which is stinking. It smells rotten because the amsa is removed. So if somebody were to tear the skin, you cannot bear the smell. So below the skin, the mamsa is so dirty to look. And then naharu. Naharu is sinews or tendons. Atti is the bone. There are 300 bones. Atti minja is the bone marrow. Vakkam is kidneys. Hadayam is heart. Yakanam is liver. Kilomakam is pleura. Pihakam is spleen. Paphasam is lungs. So we see that all these Hadayam, Yakanam, Kilomakam, Pihakam, Paphasam and Vakkam is made out of very soft clay. Whereas the Mamsam is also from clay, but that is what we eat as essence. So even in fruits, we can find that when the tree gives rise to fruit and the fruit falls down and it starts to get corrupted. So it turns ripe and it falls down and it starts to corrupt. Its flesh is called mamsa, and the flesh what we have is also mamsa. Fruit also starts to decay. So also our body starts to decay because of mamsa. So mamsa naharu is made out of soft clay along with vakkam, hadayam, yakanam, kilomakam, pihakam and papasam. Whereas atti is made out of stone and atti minja is soft stone. So what we find is that we find only the what we can say made out of clay and stone. So it is Pathavi Dhatu. So there is, even though there are various names what we have put here, but it is only Pathavi Dhatu. Antam, Antagunam, Udariyam, Karisam, Mattalungam. Is you have intestine, mesentery. Udariyam is stomach with this undigested food. Karisam is exertment or feces. And Mattalungam is the brain. Intestine is again made out of soft. The mesentery, Antagunam, is again made out of soft clay. Undigested food, you know what you have eaten, that is again soft. You can't eat hard things. So you as soon as you start biting the food, it loses its essence and goes inside as undigested food. Excrement is feces, can be hard or can be soft. And finally brain is soft clay. So this is what is Kayagata Sati of Pathavi Dhatu. So you can sit and meditate as long as you want by observing Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danta, Tacho, Mamsam, Naharu, Atti, Atti Minjam, Vakkam, Hadayam, Yakanam, Kilomakam, Pihakam, Paphasam, Antam, Antagunam, Udariyam, Karisam, Mattalungam. That is the hairs of the head and the body hairs, nails, teeth and skin, flesh, tendons and sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, pleura, spleen, lungs, intestine, mesentery, undigested food, excrement and the brain. Now what you need to do is you need to see while meditating how many are hard and how many are soft. Except for nails, the teeth and the bones, everything else is soft clay. So Buddha asks us to watch when you see yourself or you see others. The consciousness is carrying the mud and the stone. That's all. If you say, I am the person, you are literally carrying the stone and the mud. So it becomes heavy. Now we come to the Apo Dhatu. Pittam Semham Pubbo Lohitam Sedo Medo Assu Vasa Kelo Singanika Lasika Muttan Iti. That is, Pittam is bile, Simham is phlegm, Pubbo is pus, Lohitam is blood, Sedo is sweat, Medo is fat, Assu is tears, Vasa is grease, Kelo is spit, Singhanika is mucus, Lasika is synovial fluid, Mutta is urine. So for meditation, we can use the following object. We can take Pitta. If you can't see Pitta, you leave it. Simham, you can see it in your nose. Pubbo, pus, we have already seen. Lohitam, blood, we have seen. Sedo is sweat, that we see it. Medo is fat, that we might not see. Assu, we can see tears. Vasa is grease, that we can see on our forehead. Shining will be there, which is grease, and also on the face. Kelo is spit or saliva, that we can see. Singanika is a mucus, so when it's cold season, you can see water coming from the nose, that is mucus. And also you get mucus from every part of the body, so we can watch it. Synovial fluid is Lasika, and Mutta, that is urine, so we can really see urine all the time. So we can take urine for meditation. Now, instead of having, when you are eating food, you are not eating so much salt thing, but all the liquid what you are getting has salt. Pittam has salt, Simham has salt, Pubbo has salt, so everything has salt. So that's called Lavana, salt. Even though you have eaten Madhura, which is sweet, but what you get is salt. So this is another dukkha. We love sweet, but what you get in return is salty. So we can observe within ourselves that this is what is happening. Okay, so if we do that, then again we will get Ajjatta Bahidda va Kaye Kayanupassi Viharati Samudaya Vai Dhammanupassi va Kayasmin Viharati Atti Kayoti va Panasa Satipaṭṭhāna hoti Yavad Eva Jnanamattaya Patisati Mattaya Anisito cha Viharati Nacha Kinchi Loke Upadiyati Evam Piko Bhikkave Bhikkhu Kaye Kayanupassi Viharati. So only with this you can achieve till the highest. Okay, so this is the meditation what you need to do. You have to add another two more, which is the Tejo Dhatu and Vayu Dhatu. So this is another thing what he doesn't talk here about Vayu Dhatu and Tejo Dhatu, but in the Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta he explains about these other two ones also. So we can use all the four of them and make it as a Dhatu Manasikara Pabbam. Atti Masmin Kaye, there are in this body Pathavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, Vayu Dhatu. So we have already covered two Dhatus when we looked at Partikula Manasikara Pabbam, and in this we have to take the Tejo Dhatu, that is heat, and Vayu Dhatu, which is the wind or air. So he says, what is the example for this? He says, the say yatapi bhikkhave dakko go gatako va go gatakante vasi va. Just like as though monks, a clever butcher or a butcher's apprentice, gavim vaditva chatup mahapate bilaso vibhajitva nisinno assa. After slaughtering the cow in 4 parts, were to sit down at crossroad after dividing it into equal portions. Evam eva ko bhikkhave bhikkhu imam eva kayam. So even so monks, a monk is in regard to this very body. Yatatitam yata panihitam dhatu so pacha vikkati. However placed, however disposed, reflects by way of the element. So what you need to do is, we can look at the cow cut into 4 parts. So if you cut the head, you will start seeing blood oozing out of the head. Same thing if a human head were to be cut, immediately the blood will spring. That means you will see that as soon as the skull or the head is removed from the body, the water will start to come out as blood. So you have Pathavi Dhatu, that is the head, and Apo Dhatu, which is the blood which is just oozing out. And after some time it stops, and the temperature can be seen. So the body will be trembling, so that shows there is air, and the heat will start to dissipate. So after some time the body becomes cold. So 4 directions in 4 parts he can cut it and put it. So you will see all the 4 elements. This is how the dhatu is. Watch this for around 5 minutes. Now we go into the 3rd section, that is Nava Sivatikaya Pabbam. Nava Sivati. Nava means 9, Sivati is in parts. Ka Pabbam, that kind of section in 9 different ways. So the first way, Supposing somebody dies and we have seen the body. We have gone to their funeral or to their home or wherever the body has been kept. So when you watch the body, you can see that hour by hour the body is going to change. First the skin will start to get discolored little by little. As the body heat keeps on decreasing and the cell starts to die inside the body, as the heat goes away, that part where heat is there, the skin looks new, but wherever the heat is going away, the skin looks bleached. And after some time, you cannot fold the leg or you cannot fold the arms. It becomes rock solid and it starts to weigh more than what the person was. So 2 people is at least required to lift that person, or 4 people are required because if the body becomes very heavy. So it immediately gains weight. This is the first thing what you can notice. And the second thing, if the person has opened the eyes, you cannot shut the eyes. If the person has opened the mouth, you cannot shut the mouth. Immediately after death you can close it, but after few hours, 1 or 2 hours, you cannot do anything about it. You cannot forcefully close the eyes and they will remain open. Same thing with the mouth. They remain open and the jaws become very tight. And after some time, after half a day and 1 full day, next day, it starts to get discolored. It starts to become dark. And also you can observe the cheeks will start to go inside. It gets pulled so much so that you can't do anything about it. And it gets bloated. The air inside will start to expand and the body will start to expand. And there would be movements in the body and some sounds also coming from the body, especially during the night, and people get scared because there will be some movements. That's the sound of teeth grinding also can come because of the air moving there, and it makes weird sound where the person, if they were sleeping, were to get into fear that some ghost has come. So there would be sound like of the teeth, or there can be sound of bones inside the body. So if it is 3 days, it gets even more rotten. So then it starts to smell. If nose is not covered, the ears are not covered, and the private parts are not covered, then it starts to smell. It starts to smell even more after the 5th day. Now what he does is that he compares and thinks about his own body being there in terms of the nature and constituents. And he knows that one day his body is going to become like this. Nothing that can be done. So this is the first one. Now coming to the second one. Again he sees a skeleton with flesh and blood, bound together by tendons, or a skeleton, some of them without flesh, smeared with blood, bound together by a tendon or a skeleton. Third one, no longer having any flesh and blood, bound together by tendons or with bones, and no longer bound together, and they are scattered in all direction, or with a hand bone here, with a foot bone there, or with an ankle bone here, with a knee bone there, or a thigh bone here, with a hip bone there, with a rib bone here, with a bone of a back here or there, or with a shoulder bone here, with a neck bone there, with a jaw bone here, or with a tooth bone here, with a skull here. So now this is beyond 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days when the body is thrown away. Then you can see it, the disintegration, wherein the maggots will start eating. Then there are various insects, including ants, they start removing the body to an extent that every part will become separate. So he compares with his own body, which will become this nature if thrown on the ground, and thus observing its nature, and he knows that he cannot go beyond this, meaning his body is going to become what he's seeing there. Then he sees a body thrown on a charnel ground, that is smashana in Sanskrit, which having white bones like the color of a conch, heap of bones more than a year old, rotten bones that have become like powder. Then he again compares with his own. Then he sees animal eating, jackals eating, dogs eating flesh and all that on the charnel ground. Then he sees skull here and there, bone here and there, and some of them have become so dirty that you can't even find that it is a human bone, and some of them has happened in such a way that the tendons are totally cut from the bone and there is no blood inside the bone, inside the tendon. It is dried up, parched up and totally eaten away, totally cut away here and there. And there are the breastbone, the chest bone, there is so many bones. Out of 300 bones, all the bones are scattered here and there, and including some of them have become powder. Like when we go to a cemetery, and if it is an electric crematorium, you can watch how the body within minutes will get into flames, and in 45 minutes or 30 to 45 minutes it is completely burnt, to an extent that even the bones, many bones are totally not there, and what you get is a powder, and with some bones. So when I was carrying these bones of my father around 11 years ago when he died, so I had this experience of seeing what he was, around 5 feet and 3 inches, fitted in a small vessel made out of mud, and that's all what was remained of my father. And it was full of carbon, meaning it had become like black color after burning. So we can see carbon over there, and some bones they had given. So when we throw to the river, we can observe that all of the relationship what a person had is completely gone. No matter how much we love them or we had loved them, how much we fought with them, how much we argued, how much they took care of us as parents, how much we took care of them, but in the end what we got was one small mud vessel of bones and some powder. That's all. And same thing happened 4 years ago, almost 4 years now. My mother is dead. So same thing. 45 minutes it took for the electric crematorium to completely make that body into pulverized suit and with some bones. So again, the person who was my mother just came in a packet of small vessel. So if I were to compare myself, I have come out of her body, but now her body is fitting into a small vessel, which is just powder and some bones. That is all what is there of my mother. And one day, this body will exactly fit into the same vessel, and my son would be doing the same thing. So this is a continuous process, nothing that can be done. So with this, what is going to happen is the kama tanha, which is there, or kama chanda, will reduce, because now we have to apply this to every body we see. Everybody. We have a word in English called everybody, so you make it as every body, so that whenever we see a body we can observe that they are going to fit in a smallest of the vessel, powder and bone. That's all. All the earnings, all the name and fame, all the popularity, all the money, all the homes, all their travel across the globe. They might be prime ministers of a country, there might be president of a country, they might be monarch of some countries, or they might be good looking, they might be ugly looking, they might be short looking, they might be long looking, they might be fair looking, they might be dark looking, they might be female looking, they might be male looking. Ultimately, it fits into the small vessel filled with dust, that is the suit, and some bones. That's all what it would be. So the three meditation, that is Patikula Manasikara Pabbam, starting from Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danta onwards, to Dhatu, 4 dhatus, Patavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, Vayu Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, and 9 charnel ground meditation, helps one to get rid of Kamachanda. So this practice has to be done extensively, continuously, for a long period of time. And then Kamachanda goes away. When Kamachanda is not there, Vyapada also goes away. That helps to achieve Anagami state. Because these two things has to go. So whenever a person comes home, whenever a person goes anywhere, whenever you go to anybody's home or they come to your home, and whenever you are meeting whomever you are meeting, the next thing you need to see is they are going to fit themselves in a small vessel filled with some dust and some bones. That is all. They don't fit anywhere else other than this. Now we come to the Vedananupassana. So there are various things: Sukham, Dukkham, Adukkam, Asukham, Samisam, Sukham, Niramisa Sukham, Samisam Dukkham, Niramisa Dukkham, Samisam Adukka Sukham, Niramisa Adukkam Sukham, Vedayam Vedayami iti pajanati. So when there is a sensual feeling, sensual pleasure, he feels it as Sukha. And when there is a sensual dukkha, that is displeasure, he will find it as dukkha, displeasure. And when there is adukkam asukham, that is, you have gone to somebody else's funeral and you have gone to the cemetery or to an electric crematorium, you will not have anything to cry because it is somebody else who is dead. As a friend or as a relative, you have gone there, so you don't have to do anything. So you are literally neutral. But what if it is your own aunt, your own mother or father or brother or sister or a wife or a husband or a son or a daughter? Then what happens? Then you get samisa dukkha. Why? Because you struggle to come out of that grief. Because you associate that person with you. And that person is gone. Just like I lost my father and I lost my mother. So it is samisa dukkha. Because I am able to see that she is my mother, I am able to touch her, I am able to feel her, and also I am able to hear her. I am not able to taste, I cannot taste her, but anyway I have born out of her. And then I can smell her. So I can see, I can smell, I can touch, I cannot taste. Anyway, so 4 senses can be done: sight, sound, touch, smell. And I can think that she is my mother. So when I took her to the electric crematorium, just before putting her onto that machine, what is the state of the mind? The Vedana, feeling. It is dukkha. Cannot let go of the grief of losing one's own father, one's own mother, wife, husband, son, daughter. It's very difficult. So he understands and knows how this sensual pleasure is coming, how the sensual pleasure is going into dukkha, becoming displeasure, and how it becomes neutral. Same thing he gets into first jhana. This is niramisa sukha. It doesn't have any sensuality. This is coming out of aninjabi sankhara. That is jhanik. So it becomes niramisa sukha. Now first jhana I am able to establish, second jhana I am able to establish, the third jhana is able to establish, fourth I am able to establish until the 9th jhana, let's say. But still it is conditioned. So this is niramisa sukha. What if I am not able to establish? It turns out itself into niramisa dukkha. I am trying my best to establish in the 4th jhana. It is not happening. Mind is agitated. It is not working out. So I get into niramisa dukkha. Niramisa adukha asukha. what it means is that you are feeling upekha, equanimity. So that is niramisa, adukkha asukha. So these are the two Vedanas which happen. One with samisa, it is with senses. Another one is niramisa with jhana. Now you observe. Same thing. Ajjatta vahiddava vedanasu vedananupassi viharati samudaya vaya dhammanupassiva vedanasu vedanasu viharati atti vedana iti va panasasati pacchupattita hoti yavad eva jnanamattaya padisati vattaya anisitocha viharati nachakincha loke upadiyati evampi ko bhikkhu bhikkhave vedananupassi viharati. So we can see it inside and we can also see it outside. Everybody is having the same kind of Vedana. Some person feels something as Sukha, some person feels the same thing as Dukkha, some person will become neutral. Just like the rain. Now it is raining in Bangalore, it's become cold. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Some people feel irritated by it, some people feel okay by it. And some people are neutral, they don't care. This is the Vedana. Moving on, we come to Chitta. Saragam va chittam vitaragam va chittan sadosam va chittan vitadosam va chittam samoham va chittam vimoham Vitamoham va chittam, sankittam va chittam, vikittam va chittam, mahaggatam va chittam, amaggatam va chittam, sauttaram va chittam, anuttaram va chittam, samahitam va chittam, asamahitam va chittam, vimuttam va chittam, avimuktam va chittam. What it really means? Saraga, with sensual lust. Vitaraga, without sensual lust. Sadosam, with irritation, hatredness, agitation, etc. Vitadosam va, without agitation, without hatred, without anger, without any kind of that. Samoham va chittam, without delusion. With delusion. Vitamoham va chittam, without delusion. Sankittam va chittam. Sankitta means integrated mind. Like when we wake up, we are scattered, we don't know what to do, so we call vikitta, whereas sankitta means it is condensed. So now the mind is able to do something, meaning it is able to sit. So sometimes we are not able to sit on the chair, we get totally disturbed, and that is called as a vikitta, scattered. The mind is scattered everywhere on every subject. Whereas Sankhita means it is trying to address one thing at a time. It is called Sankhita, and Vikitta is trying to address many things at the same time. Mahaggatam va chittan. Mahaggatam means it is becoming profound, meaning it's becoming great, feeling very great of achieving something. Amahaggatam va chittan, that means it's feeling very low. A mind is feeling very low. Sa uttaram va chittam, it has achieved, surpassed something, surpassed the 8 jhanas, let's say. So that's called Sauttaram va chittam. Anuttaram va chittam, that means it has not surpassed anything. Samahitam va chittam, it is having equanimity with everyone and everything. Asamahitam va chittam, right now it is not having that equanimity, it has lost the equanimity. Vimuktam va chittam, it is liberated. Avimuktam va chittam, it is not liberated, it is bound. So you can observe these many chittas. So sometimes the chitta is saraga, Vitaraga, Sadosa, Vitadosa, Samoha, Vitamoha, Sankhita, Vikhitta, Mahaggata, Amahaggata, Sauttara, Anuttara, Samahitam, Asamahitam, Vimuktam, Avimuktam. So that's like a pair. So this is what the chitta is all about. So ajjatta bahiddava chitte chittanupassī viharati. He then observes, just like the observer, what we spoke about yesterday. He will observe the chitta. Anupassī viharati. How the chittas are coming within the collection of chitta. Chitte chittanupassī viharati. Samudaya. How this samudaya is happening. Vaya. How it is passing. So you'll actually seeing an anicca nature in that. Dhamma anupassī viharati. Each of this chitta itself is a dhamma. Va chittasmim viharati atti chittam iti va panasasati pachupattita hoti yavad eva jnanamattaya patisati mattaya anisito cha viharati nacha kinchi loke upadiyati. Now we come to the Dhammanupassana Nivarana Pabbam, which we have already covered. So Kamachanda Vyapada Thinamidam Udacha Kukkuch and Vichikicha. So we had already done that. And we now come to Dhammanupassana Khanda Pabbam. So he says, what is Rupa? Iti Rupam, iti Rupasa Samudayo, iti Rupasa Attangamo. Now this is form. And the moment it moves away from there, or how it originates, so from food it originates, and after the food is partaken, it disintegrates and goes away. And that is how the passing away of form is. Because of that, Vedana, feeling, same thing. This is the feeling. This is the origination of the feeling, and this is the passing away of the feeling, because Rupa is gone. Sanya, it is such is the perception, such is the origination of the perception and the passing away of perception. Sankhara, which is the mental process, this is the origination of the mental process and the passing away of the mental process. Iti Vijnanam, it is the consciousness. This is how the consciousness is. This is the origination of the consciousness which comes along with the Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and it passes away along with that. So this is the Khanda. Now ayatana, salayatana, 6 ayatana. Chakuncha pajanati, rupecha pajanati, tad upayapaticha pajjati samyojanam tancha pajanati. Anuppanasya samyojanasya uppado hoti tancha pajanati. Uppannasya samyojanasya pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. Pahinasya samyojanasya ayatim anupado hoti tancha pajanati. So now he observes the eye and he observes the Rupa. How it arises due to condition. That samyojana, that joining together, that if the Rupa comes, the eye comes. If there is no Rupa, eye doesn't come. Simple. So he will watch that. Anutpannasya samyojanasya uppado hoti tancha pajanati. How the non-arising will arise due to proper condition being given, he will observe. Uppannasya samyojanasya pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. Now how he is going to remove that feeling which has arisen due to samyojanas, that is, due to its contact, that he will observe. Observe pajanati, like what we spoken, like a light. So you will see and you will not react to it, so it automatically goes away. Pahinasya samyojanasya ayatim anutpado hoti tancha pajanati. Pahina means to remove. Now anutpanna, anutpado means it will not arise again at all. So even if the object comes and the eye comes, that is, the sight is there and eye is there, that feeling doesn't come any longer. So that he will know. Same thing with Sota and the Saddha, Ghana and the Gandha, Jivha and the Rasa, Kaya and the Pottabha, Mana and Dhamma. That is, ear and the sound, nose and the smell, tongue and the taste, the collection of what we call as body with the touch, and mana, mind with Dhamma. So you will do it in 4 parts. Like if you take Sota, Sotancha pajanati, Saddancha pajanati, Tad Ubhayam Paticcha Uppajjati Samyojanam Tancha pajanati, Anutpanasya Samyojanasya Uppado hoti Tancha pajanati, Uppannasya Samyojanasya Pahanam hoti Tancha pajanati, Pahinasya Samyojanasya ayatim Anutpado hoti Tancha pajanati. So he will observe first thing the sound and the ear and the sound. Then he understands this is the ear and this is the sound, and how it has arisen, and samyojana, that is how it has connected itself to, he will observe. Then anutpanasya samyojanasya uppado hoti tancha pajanati. What has not yet arisen, the sound and the ear, when a proper environment is given, how it comes up, he will observe and he will know it. Uppannasya samyojanasya pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. Now that it has arisen, so the music has come and it is rubbing on my ear, and how the mind is now going to associate, and I know it that it is going to associate, I don't know how to remove it, that he will know. And in future, how I should guard my ear and the sound coming, I know it. So for the sight I know it, for the sound I know it, for the smell I know it, for the taste I know it, for the touch, and for the Dhamma, which is the thoughts. Continuing further, we have already done this Dhammanupasana Satcha Pabbam. We had a very long discussion, so I will skip this because there's no point in taking about Jati Pidukka, Jara Pidukka and all that. We have already done that, so I will skip this section. So I will now go into the 8 noble that also I will skip. Noble Eightfold path, that I will skip. Now we will start on Sammāppadhāna, and I will introduce and we will stop for today and we will take this up tomorrow. So the Sammāppadhāna is defined as follows: Bhūsam dahati vahati iti padhanam sammadeva padhanam Sammāppadhāna. That means Padhana is an effort carried out strongly, thus creating enough heat and with intensity. And if we carry out with equanimity without creating any raga and dvesha, it is called as Sammāppadhāna. Kamam tachocha naharucha atticha avasissatu sarire upasussatu mamsalohitam yam tam purisa sattha mena purisa viryena purisa pakara kammena pattabham na tama papunitva viryasa santhanam bhavisati. What it means is that in the Sammāppadhāna, the person puts enough effort. Let the skin remain, let the sinews remain, let the bones remain, let the flesh and blood dry up. I will put as much as effort to get all the impurities out. So there are 4 kinds of Sammāppadhāna. Uppannam akusalanam dhammanam pahana vayamo. This will remove sakkaya ditti. Anutpannam akusalanam dhammanam anupadaya vayamo. That also removes sakkaya ditti. Uppannam akusalanam. We are doing all the akusala, 10 akusala, because there is a person which we think exists. So I tell lies, I do all kind of nonsense things because I feel I exist. The moment it becomes pahana vayamo, that is, I cut it by putting effort, the sakkaya ditti will go away. So when I start investigating on the Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara and Vijnana, automatically my habit of telling lies, my habit of stealing, my habit of killing, my habit of sensual misconduct and all of that will go away. Anutpannam akusalanam dhammanam anupadaya vayamo. Ensuring that what has still not come will never come at all. This akusala. Again, that will get rid of sakkaya ditti. Instead of these 2, we will develop the other 2. Anutpannam kusalanam dhammanam uppada vayamo. So I will now put the kusala dhamma in its place. And uppannam kusalanam dhammanam bhiyo bhavaya vayamo. So now I will ensure that this uppannam grows and anutpannam and grows and strengthens, and anutpannam I will create environment which will make it to grow. So this is what I will be doing with that. So that is the basic idea at which I will be doing it. So there are 9 kinds of what we can say. There are 9 akusala and 9 kusala. So what we will do is we will take it up tomorrow. And we'll discuss how kusala and akusala works. that's all I had. If you have any questions to what we have discussed so far, I think if you are in meditation, you have to now come out of meditation. Yes, Suyog, how did you feel? Okay. So we moved further. So let us stop and you can continue doing that. It will be good. Preeti ji, what do you feel? Your microphone is muted.
But superficial contemplation, not in depth.
Okay, no problem. It's fine. Swati ji.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything Panca. So what you taught today, that
okay.
It goes overhead.
Okay, so whatever I said, it went overhead. Okay, no problem. So tomorrow we can go under the head. No, which part went over the head? Everything went over the head.
No, few parts was there in my reach, but rest of the thing was over there.
Okay. Yeah, this will go slightly overhead because it is too deep a Dhamma to talk. Especially the 37 factors of awakening is very deep.
That part was okay. That part I understood. But later on, it goes on. After that, it went over.
Yeah, the Vedana, the feeling. Feeling, actually, it is you feel when something comes in front of you, you feel that, and that is what he is talking about. So there are three kinds of feeling, and in sensual, and three kind of feeling in jhana, or in when you do the meditation. So when you are in meditation, you feel that sukha, or sometimes when you are trying best to establish but it doesn't establish, so you have dukkha. And sometimes you remain very neutral to that, so that becomes upekha, or adukkha asukha, meaning neither you are feeling pleasurable nor you are feeling displeasure or painful. And when we come to chitta, you can observe that what kind of chittas are coming. So if you are attracted to something, that means it's raga. If you are feeling irritated by something, then it is dvesha. If you are feeling connected with some person and calling that person as husband or wife and child and this and that, it is moha. Okay, so he says that you will have these three and other three. You will have viraga, adosa, amoha. And not only that, you will have, when you wake up in the morning, especially, you can find out you're confused. So you're sleeping, there's a deep sleep, and somebody gives a call. There's a lot of confusion. You are literally scattered. And when you yes, correct. The confusion is there. So that is called as a vichitta. Whereas if it is one pointed and you're, let us say you're painting or you're doing your work and you're deep in that work, and that becomes sanchitta. Concentrated, yes. So you're concentrating. Here it is dissipated. It's gone in all directions. Okay. So vimukta. Mukta means that you are liberated. The mind, the chittas are liberated. Whereas avimukta means that it is bound, it is bonded, like that. And the Dhamma, what we started with, it is the khandhas, what we have been talking, right? The 5 khandhas, and we have spoken about the Nivarna, which is nothing but the hindrances. We have spoken enough of those 2 things. So I skipped it, meaning I did not again go and explain. And also we have spoken about the 4 noble truths. So there's no point in again going through each one of them, because we already gone through that. And we have come to Sammāppadhāna. So I wanted to stop there because it is too heavy, so you can relax.
Because it contains 9 akusala and 9 kusala.
Yes, that we have to do it tomorrow, because if I talk about 9 kusala and 9 akusala today itself, then it becomes very confusing.
Right.
Because this is not there in this 9 kusala and 9 akusala is not there in this section. It is there in Iddhipāda. That's another subject altogether. It is if we were to put it in a Sanskrit way of looking, it is called Niti. Pali is Netti, and in Sanskrit is Niti. Pakanna is in Sanskrit becomes Prakarana, sections, which talks about how you should tune your mind and what is real and how you can come out of unreal. So in that, Buddha talks about the 9 akusala and 9 kusala. So we will take it up tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Kalpana ji. What do you feel? You feel silence. That's very good. Hello, Kalpana ji, are you there? Okay.